based on his All-Star experience. I mean, his Olympic, not All-Star.
Now he's asking me he's asking me for advice. I would tell him to have it not be Vegas or here because he needs to get away from his family.
Yeah, Vegas is a mistake.
That experience and being around Jordan and Krzyzewski and all this and that could be better for him.
Yeah, I agree. Vegas is a definite mistake if he goes UNLV or something.
Right. Yeah, he needs to be next. Well, it's like they say for a professional. If you are a professional, you do not go to get your master's where you got your bachelor's degree. You go to another place to get a different perspective.
Yeah.
All right. If you're the smartest person in any particular room, like people know, somebody repeated back to me. Some people called me and they were like, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? You got to get different perspectives, different things that are going on. You don't get shocked because people were shocked at the end of the AFC Championship game over the referees, like when Trump won and people were shocked and cried. I was like, no, I predicted it. I said it on the live stream. The refs are going to manipulate the game so the Chiefs win. And then Scott interjected and he said, oh, yeah, because of the Kelsey brothers. It's about marketing. This is a show. This is an entertainment company. That is how they are. NFL's first, it's a commercial real estate company. Number two, it's a PR advertising firm. Notice how the first story always is the amount of money for the commercials for the Super Bowl, right? More than $1 million a minute because it is a marketing company.
Yeah.
Third, it's a sport. It's still a sport. It's not 100% scripted. However, it's been hijacked by 3 football mafia families. That we'll talk about it as we're going through the film today. We will go into detail about these 3 mafia families. Like, Josh, what are you talking about? I'm talking about Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, football mafia family. We're talking about the Harbaugh brothers, University of Michigan in Baltimore, right? And then the Andy Reid family, which the conference was the Andy Reid Invitational because Zach Taylor, right, who was going against Citriani, whatever his name is. I like to call him Citriani, like the guitar player. But Gannon, we're going to talk about Gannon a lot here. And then on the end, that was the Shanahan, right? They all work and run. They don't just work for him. Great, they all run a similar football philosophy. Because Nick Saban, you work for Nick Saban, you work for Bill Belichick, you work for Andy Reid. Andy Reid is Mormon, right? So he believes in indoctrination. It's almost like a religion. This is the way football should be. Like, John Wooden, Bobby Knight. This is the way it has to be. Motion offense or Dean Smith, right? I hate that, right? Because I came from a religious family. I kind of rebelled against it. I like difference of opinion, different philosophies. That's why I love the mesh offense, right? The meshes in a bunch of things together. And I think that's why Gannon worked so well in Philadelphia, because he said, I don't like philosophies, and I don't like all the indoctrination of the coaches that try to indoctrinate me into a certain defense. So supposedly he doesn't run the defense everybody else does. But as we see in this film, he does. He does. He has to. Everybody runs a 4-2-5. And who runs a 4-2-5? Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. Can you argue with him? No. Kirby Smart's got 2 national championships. Nick Saban has 7. That's 9 national championships. And Bill Belichick has 7 Super Bowls. Andy Reid's going to 3 Super Bowls. Pete Carroll you can throw in there, right? So what are your first words, Scott, as we get into it and we make people money? Because I feel this is one of the Super Bowls I feel the most confident in. You got 4 outcomes, right? You got the side and the total, right? You got the side, the total, the second half line, right? You got the second half line, and you can maybe middle something with the way the line shifts are going. In different places, you can go to place a bet that are maybe disagreeing with each other. And then you got 6 props. And again, if you're the toughest, smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And between Scott and Jim, who are prop experts, there's some money to be had. Am I wrong, Scott?
No, you're not wrong. Jim's already started his prop a day thing on his Twitter space. So if you believe in what Jim's saying, you can go there and read it. I've already bet the under of the game,
Right.
and I've already bet the side of the game. So I'm planting my flag very early because you get some numbers that you just can't pass up.
So that makes a consensus. I bet the under already.
Yeah. It's under 50. It's 51 right now up here in the Northeast. Ooh. I've already bet the under.
I gotta check mine because I hadn't seen that. I got that's why I talk about 4 outcomes. I got right when it came out, I got under 50.5. So 51, 52, I don't know, what is it? 49 is a key number, 55 is the next key number.
Yep. It started at 49.5, I think I was told yesterday.
Right.
And it's been bet up into the low 50s. And it's probably only going to go up because people are looking at indoor stadium, no weather factor. Both teams will throw the ball. I beg to differ. Both teams will not throw the ball a ton. So,
well, we'll get into it because so people don't get fused. Sometimes a throw isn't a throw.
Exactly. No. Yeah. You throw a swing pass out of the back.
Right. It's not a long handoff because it's the philosophy of the offense, right?
Right.
Okay. So as we get into the film, remember, because of Mike Leach, because of the popularity of it, and because of you can disguise things to entertain people.
Yeah.
You can entertain people with a pass, but it's really a run.
Yep.
Every team wants air raid concepts. So what is air raid concept? The quarterback and the receiver read the defense independently of it, and then boom, you look for the ball. Yep. Now, Andy Reid believes in a 15 to 20 play script to start the game.
Yes, he does.
However, if the quarterback sees something, keys that he's been coached on, he can change the play. So we're going to watch that. So number one is Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, cannot read defense. Mm-hmm. You say, Josh, why? And I'll show you why I say he cannot read defenses. And this has an element of TCU against Georgia. TCU had not played to the level of competition Georgia had and got blown out.
Right.
Right. So that's why right now I'm I haven't decided yet because I want to see some information. I want to see about some injuries. I got to see about what's really wrong with Kelsey. And what's the offensive lineman for the Eagles got arrested for beating up his wife.
I'll just let you know. I'm with you on the side. I know where you're going. I'm with you on the side. Without saying it, I'm with you on the side. That's what I bet. So
okay,
I'm with
got
you.
it. So it's almost consensus.
Yep.
It's almost consensus right now.
Yep.
And then you go on to the props. You know, we're busy, right? So I compartmentalize. This is the side and total week. Next week, I start looking at props. Some props I've bet heavily on before. That I just knew it wasn't going to happen. It was a miscommunication. ESPN is, brainwashing people to believe something that absolutely there's no locks. It's only up to an 80% probability. So I felt that something was up to 80% probability. And that's very important for when you're watching and you're betting on something with your wife, and your wife's like me, she's watched a lot of football. She's actually told me to bet on games. So we've been married 20 years, and about the 13 times she has told me to bet on teams, she's 13 and up. So
wow.
And because she's a psychotherapist and she likes the music industry, I've told her who's singing the national anthem, and she's gotten the over-under. She's 5-0 on that.
On the time?
Yeah, on the time.
Wow. Okay.
Right. Easy example is Demi Lovato. And I told her, general guy, oh, she's a cutter. She's a cutter and she's a drug addict. Under, right? Because drug addicts are anxious. She's a coke freak. So
Quick
coke.
in, quick out.
Then there was this country singer, and I told her, oh yeah, he got busted for pot in Tennessee. Under, or it was actually over because
over. Okay.
Smoking pot relaxes you. So he did a bunch of pot before singing the national anthem for the Super Bowl. Nice and relaxed, boom, and went over. So she's 5-0. So we're gonna look for 6-0. I get next week. I'll find out who's singing it, and we'll do a deep dive into that. But for now, we're gonna go deep into film study here. We got plenty of time, 28 minutes. You got the videos timed to be tight. So go get Jim to like this. Okay, so this will be a reaction video. So Scott will do a little reacting, and I'll explain why I feel that Jalen Hurts has trouble reading defenses. Right. So the play is scripted. He's looking if he's going to change the play. And I'll stop it right here. This you're going to see from every team. Every team runs it, and it's because it's a flexible defense where you're going to have athletic linebackers and confuse the quarterback on who's dropping deep into coverage, because that's what you can do with a 4-2-5. So 4-2-5 is 4 down linemen, traditional down linemen, and here are your 2 linebackers. Here's your 2. This guy's a boundary guy. So there's a lot of space here. So you need a fast guy to kind of read the space. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, Philadelphia, not as much, but Kansas City, they want a mismatch here. The air raid, according to Mike Leach, is designed to create a mismatch right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, with the slot. Here, this is a RPO. So what they're doing is you're going to see a couple plays here from Jalen Hurts when he was at Alabama and when he was at Oklahoma. All right. So this is an RPO. So he's looking at the down lineman. If it's hip to the outside, the run is to the inside. Inside run. So looking at the Eagles offense, projecting it of what's going to be against Spagnolo the first drive. Right.
Yeah, what I think you might see from Spagnolo in the Super Bowl is he might rush Chris Jones, Frank Clark, and one more guy and drop everybody else into coverage. You know, not deep coverage, but coverage right like 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. The reason I say that is because he wants to have as many guys on Jalen Hurts as he possibly can. He does not want Jalen Hurts to run him into the ground, basically.
Okay, one thing, to Scott's point, the Spagnolo does, he still runs a 4-2-5, but what he does is he's the only one that'll put like 5 defensive linemen on there. And that would be for Hurts, or you don't break contain on Hurts and Hurts can't run. Because if he's nervous in this, he's going to be nervous in the Super Bowl. Remember, these are all scripted plays. I have no idea, other than tradition, why they're huddling up when it's a scripted play and everybody knows what the play is.
Exactly.
Huddling up just takes time. Just go to the line, and if you have to check, all right? So you're saying, Josh, what is the check? So what Scott's saying is it's only 3 types of defenses you can run. Out of the 4-2-5, it gives you the most flexibility. There's zone, man-to-man, right? And a combination. Scott's kind of talking about a little bit of a combination. We have 5 down linemen, get a rush, and then play zone. So here, he's putting the guy in motion. Go ahead, Scott.
So we've been saying all year. So this is why I say this. We've been saying all year, Jalen Hurts cannot read coverages.
Right.
Well, if you go into a different coverage almost on an every down basis, you're going to confuse the man.
Right.
So I think Spagnolo is going to mix it up where one time he's in that rush 3, drop back, rush 5, and blitz with the cornerback and drop back. So he's going to try to do everything he can to get Jalen Hurts just off his game enough.
Right.
Where Jalen Hurts is confused, and that's going to probably be enough for them to win the game. So that's my thinking.
Especially if he coughs it up. Okay, so here, watch this.
Because you don't want Jalen Hurts to go for 130 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. You're going to lose the game. You're going to lose the game. So
you see him pre-snap, right? So to help him read the defense, we're going to put this guy in motion now. To help him again read the defense, Kelsey, the center, is making all the line calls. So very interesting that the Kelsey brothers all have responsibility to read coverages during the game.
Yeah.
All right, so boom, get the guy in motion, right? So they shift. So it should tell him is this is zone coverage.
Yeah. And the way you can read zone man, motion. Send a guy in motion. And I learned this from Jim. Send a guy in motion. If there's a guy that goes with him, it's man. If nobody goes with them, it's zone.
Right.
So
nobody went with the guy, right? Nobody went with him. But this is the problem, right? To Scott's point, this is the problem for Eagles fans. Because, Scott was a basketball coach. I'm a wealth planner. If we know this and he doesn't, boom, he goes in motion, nobody moves.
Right.
Look, he's looking at the same guy the whole time.
Yeah.
So he kind of blew it.
That Devonta Smith non-catch in the first quarter on the first drive, he had his eyes on him the entire time. So to me, what you're looking at is he cannot look off who he's throwing to and then come back to him.
Right.
He's got to look at him. He looked at Devonta Smith going down the field, and this is what he said: "I'm getting the ball to him. I don't care if he's covered by 4 guys. He's getting the ball." And he threw it to him. He didn't catch it, but he threw it to him. So,
all right. So Scott is a basketball coach. I'm a wealth planner. I played basketball in high school, but I did go. I know a lot of NFL guys. Chad is actually a football player, so you can have the real. He's actually been in a real film study as we go through this. We're looking at Jalen Hurts, and we'll let Chad comment on this. Yep. This is what I see, Chad. All right. We're talking about Jalen Hurts not reading defenses. So if he's anxious and confused, in this game, he's going to be like that in the Super Bowl. So, again, we're talking about the 4-2-5. They put a guy in the boundary, and it's very flexible defense. You can do whatever you want out of this. So this is going to be the problem, his confusion. He looks at his first read. He panics in the pocket. There's nothing there, and he's hurt. This is not your normal Jalen Hurts running around. Hopefully 2 weeks will help him, but bam, he can't get outside. Usually he has the quickness, right, to when he gets out here, boom, outside contain, boom, he beats this guy and he gets out here and he gets some yards. Because he's hurt, because he has a bad lower body, because his shoulder's hurt, he can't do that. Look how slow he's going.
Yeah.
What are your first thoughts, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, just on the whole game or just on this specific play right here?
The whole game.
I mean, gosh, I mean, the Eagles have really had the path of least resistance here. They haven't had much adversity. I don't think they've really been in that tough game. I do think if you look at their body of work, I mean, what they've done, they have been more dominant than the Chiefs this year. Definitely think we got a coaching mismatch in Andy Reid. I like Andy Reid as a coach, and I like the quarterback. I like Mahomes a little better than Hurts, so coaching advantage, quarterback advantage goes to the Chiefs. I do think defensive advantage probably goes Eagles here. I do think, weapons wise, I see the thing about Mahomes is like, he's so dynamic. They've realized with the marginal utility at receiver and running back being so close, You can plug anyone in there with Mahomes, and you're gonna be successful.
Right.
I don't think you can say that about Hurts as much as you can Mahomes. You know, Hurts is throwing to Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. He's got dudes out there.
Right. And this drive was coming out,
so he's got Jalen's got a lot bigger room, a lot bigger margin for error playing with that defense and those receivers he has, and that offensive line he has as well. Arguably, maybe one of the best in the NFL. So, I do think that with those advantages, I'm slightly leaning to the Eagles here. I'm still doing my research. I'm not set on anything. You know, I do think Andy Reid and Mahomes do have that factor, which I do count coaching and quarterback as my top two factors.
Right.
So I give the Chiefs the top two factors, but everything down from there I give to the Eagles. So, this is an awesome game.
The Eagles going to have a good plan and going to do well with their plays, but this is the problem. When I say Jalen Hurts can't read defenses, watch this play, right? Again, pre-snap, now he's confused. Now they're not in a 4-2-5. They're either faking a blitz and just rushing 3 and dropping 8, because these guys can drop pretty fast, or they're coming on a blitz. The problem I have is his confusion. He's looking up. Kelsey's calling the line, right? And he's calling the player. Look at his nervousness. Boom. Just throwing at one guy, almost turns the ball over. He turns the ball over in the Super Bowl game 10 match. Because he said, right? Look, boom. He's completely confused, happy feet, just throws it out there. Threw out to anybody. Great play by his receiver there. They caught it, bailed him out. But really, looking back at this game, the 49ers left at least 6 or 7 turnovers out there that they shouldn't gotten the turnover. Now we go 4-2-5 again. Boom, RPO, right? Let's take it out of Hurts' hands, and he just has to read the end. The end is coming from the outside. He comes in, right? So this is all a script. They shouldn't do it. I don't know why they're huddling up. They should not be huddling up. They know where the play is. He's just going to check it or not check it. So you saw that face. See, this is what I'm saying. So, let's see if we can stop it on his face. Because Scott and I, this is what you look at. Because you're old. And people, you don't know if they're telling you the truth or lying. Boom. Okay? Well, you look at body language. And look at the guy. He is completely confused. This is a guy who played Pee Wee League. His dad's a coach. He's been in the NFL for years. Look at that face. He's confused. This is not the look of a confident man, right? So people are lying to you. How are they lying to you? What is the lie? What's the context of the lie? What's the timing of the lie? He is confused. So you're looking at body language. So you like that. He's getting communication, right? They're not supposed to be talking that much. They're supposed to read the defense independently of their, like Gronk and Brady, and just do a quick signal. They're literally talking to each other, and these guys are listening. He's looking only one way. He's panicked. He's nervous. Doesn't know what's going on. Boom, right? That's a wasted play. Why? Because he's confused, right?
Plus, I think the other thing is he's he's banged up right now. He doesn't want to take a hit.
Oh yeah, and he took.
So what's the best way for him not to take a hit? Roll out, throw the ball. If he doesn't find anybody open, throw it away quickly. And that's what he's doing here. He's he can't find anybody open, so he's throwing the ball away basically. So
Chance brother used to do better with progression. So here's on 3rd and 10, and this is just athleticism, right? He just throws it at one guy. He's not reading anything. His zone. We're gonna go with our zone. Our zone beater. It's 4th down. In this play, again, he was confused. He didn't read anything, but this hits to Chad's point. The athleticism of these Alabama guys and these Alabama receivers and Hurts on this play. This was the last play we saw a semi-healthy Hurts. After this, he was pretty much done, right? Again, 4-2-5. He's confused, right? They run the man in motion. Again, he goes out, and this is basically a basketball play. Go deep. Boom.
Yeah,
that was
a non-catch. That's not.
So that's when I knew what the NFL wanted, right? People are confused, almost crying, like when Trump won the election, about how the refs controlled the game. He lands. He didn't have control of the ball, right? And he landed out of bounds.
No, it's incomplete pass. It's incomplete pass.
So again, look, he's confused. He doesn't know where to go with the ball.
I mean, and what's the first thing you hear on anything? Great line protection. They gave him all this time in the world. No, it's not great line protection. It's I don't know where to throw the ball. I need to get rid of it as quick as I can. So to me, he's not reading cover. He's not reading the coverage the way he needs to be reading the coverage. So Spagnuolo, who's a great defensive coordinator, that's the first thing he's going to see on video is he's having problems reading certain coverages. So I'm going to try to stay in those coverages for as long as I can until he can figure it out.
Now, if I may, to me, that's the opposite of Burrow. Burrow can read defense a lot. Hurts can read the running play. You can get him in the right running play all day because he's from Texas. His dad was a coach. So before we go to the Chiefs, any last words on the Eagles offense? They're going against the Chiefs defense.
No, I think the one thing you have to watch with Kansas City is L'Jarius Sneed and how if he's going to play or not play. Because if he's not going to play, they're going to have 3 rookies in the secondary. Not saying that it's going to be a bad thing because of Hurts' inconsistency in reading coverages, but that is a big injury for their defense. If he's back and playing, that fortifies Kansas City in the secondary that much more to maybe sell out on stopping one of the guys and allowing the other guy to just get what he's going to get. So be watchful of that, going into next week because they're not practicing this week hardly. They're not doing anything out there. So
they're doing stuff, or they're doing it in a hotel lobby and secret.
Yeah, but they're not like on a practice field going. They basically kind of quell that down until probably tomorrow. I'd say is when they'll get back on.
Secret practices.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. We got 12 minutes. And in 12 minutes or less, we're going to look at the Kansas City defense. And a quarterback, right? The difference between a quarterback who knows how to read defense. His problem is, that's why he's so phenomenal, is that he has a horrible offensive line. They really suck, right? And they really should in this game. Yeah. There's so much him and Chase can do. All right, so man in motion. He knows he's in zone. Boom, we got a great athlete, Chase, right? Great plan by Zach Taylor.
Yep.
Yeah. You see how comfortable Burrow is. Look, see how more relaxed he is than Hurts. I'll go back to it. Look, boom, he knows, okay, they're in zone. Bam, I'm relaxed. Boom, 3-step drop because they have a shitty ass offensive line. Let's go across the middle of the chase. Right? Intelligent people make complicated things easy. Stupid people make easy things hard. He's won 3 Super Bowls, always has a great plan, 2 weeks to prepare. Goes through what Chad's saying in the coaching mismatch. All right. Boom. Again, look at the 4-2-5 everybody's running. You got the boundary, how they're looking at the boundary. Bam, he's in command. He knows what's going on, right? Boom, he knows where to go with the ball. The thing about the 4-2-5, that this is very important, and let's see what you guys think. Pre-snap, with the 4-2-5, you got basically a corner playing linebacker. And he gets such a deep drop that kind of confuses Burrow, where he can't get it over the slow linebacker because he got a fast kind of corner kind of playing that linebacker decision. What do you guys think?
See, so I don't know what Chad thinks. I'll be interested to find out. Well, Philly's offensive line is probably a top 2 or top 3 in the NFL. Yeah. I think Spagnuolo's going to say we're not going to rush him that much because we don't think we're going to get to him that often. So I think what's going to happen is you'll see a little bit of a drop back in coverage for Kansas City and to just play coverages. because I'm almost guaranteed Spagnuolo saying we're gonna have a tough time getting to Hurts. So Hurts may have a lot of time in a lot of these situations, but what he does in the defensive secondary and in the coverages will probably confuse Hurts enough. So I don't know what Chad thinks about that, but that's what I think.
What do you think, Chad?
No, yeah, I mean, man, Spagnuolo is, he's a great defensive coordinator, and I mean that would make a lot of sense to kind of, play rush for, maybe spy Hurts and play that zone coverage and make Hurts, make the right reads in the zone. I think that's probably the hardest thing to do. Man-to-man coverage, you don't really have to read too much. You're more playing matchups, and your guy's going to beat his guy. But the zone requires the quarterback to understand what the zone is, where guys are going, and where the holes in the zone is. So I do think, that would probably be the best game plan for Spagnuolo to do is I do think they'll bring heat, but it's going to be super situational in certain spots of the game, because they're not going to be able to consistently, do it. And I just don't think that, like you said, if they can't get home, and you got AJ Brown and Devontae, Smith out there in one-on-ones every play, that's just a recipe for a big play to happen. So I do think that, man, I think the Chiefs are going to kind of, keep the ball in front and tackle them, eliminate the big play. The Eagles offense has been huge on the big play. Their running game and their passing game has been predicated on long touchdowns. So, I think the Chiefs playing a zone kind of goes against, what the Eagles' strong suit has been. So I expect a lot of zone, keeping it in front and holding them to field goals, keeping them out of the end zone and knowing that they have, one of the best offenses in the league and kind of making sure they don't lose the game for Mahomes and kind of putting the games on Mahomes' shoulder and let him win it for him. I think it's going to kind of be the game plan there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Big time. So this is interesting. This is not going to happen this Super Bowl. All right. If your quarterback makes 3 first downs with his legs, they win 70% of the time, right? So he was going to do this. So here comes Mr. Corruption here, right? And I'm like, oh, this game is so fake. This is where I started smiling, and I slammed my beer. I'm like, oh, I'm making money on this. You guys are seeing this, right?
No, we see you, but we don't see that.
All right, let me go back. I was getting too excited because that's how I knew I was going to cash this game on the side here. Yeah, I guess it's just watching too much football. I see things. Here's Mr. Corrupt, Mr. Tolbert. For his daytime job, that model girlfriend, expensive girlfriend he has, doesn't make sense. But he's making some money some sort of way. Okay, so you go, quarterback makes 3 first downs with his legs and wins 70% of the time. Burrow knows this. He's back healthy. He's kind of quick, right? They're not going to give Hurts these lanes. Boom, he knows that. Bam. They're playing zone. Good job. Well, wait a second. Late flag. Now, illegal procedure, you call that before the play starts because there's no play. So what is he calling? What are you calling, man? And why is the flag so late? What? The flags happened after they got the first down.
All right.
Right?
Yeah, that game was some BS, man.
Yeah, no,
Every big call went against Cincinnati in that game. Every big call went against Cincinnati.
Every single one.
And
you can call holding on every single play. So
no doubt. You
it
can't.
kills that drive. All right, so we'll close the last 5 minutes was watching the air raid.
Cool.
And Mahomes, he got respect for me, trying to run with that thing.
All right, guys, I got to go back into work. I'll see you guys.
Chad.
All right, thanks, Chad.
See ya.
All right. So we'll close the last 5 minutes with Mahomes.
The thing with Mahomes is I compare him to Brady, and everybody says, "What are you comparing to Brady for?" Here's the reason: for a lot of the years that Brady was in New England, his receiving core was subpar, and he made it work.
Right.
Mahomes has a very subpar receiving core outside of Travis Kelce. Brady had Gronk. The Chiefs have Kelce. Other than that,
Valdez Scantling and Rodney Adams,
who
Went to
did
the
not show up.
that I have, and they're probably watching. So I got you guys back, man. That's
Right.
just he's my guy.
So what I'm saying is this:
He's not
when
a
you
subpar
look at
receiver, Scott.
it's I would subpar is not the proper word, but it's not. There's no star on the team.
We're
like
not a
Randy Moss. Yeah, there's no star on the team, but Mahomes, because they traded Tyreek in the offseason. So Mahomes just makes it work. I mean, Scantling went for over 100 yards in this game. Juju's a big outlet for him. They got Nicole Hardman, Kadarius Toney, who are basically gadget guys who run these jet sweeps and do all this other stuff. So Mahomes has done a phenomenal job in getting these guys into the proper position to have big games.
All right. So let's describe the area. Okay. Yep. So the area again. The receiver, there's a lot of things going on here. So the receiver and the quarterback read the play independently of each other.
Yes.
And then boom, look for the ball.
Yep.
Notice this is the same play Citriani was running. Remember, Citriani comes from the Andy Reid tree. So this is the same play. We're running the guy in motion. We'll stop him when he went in motion to see what defense is going in. See, nobody moved with him.
Yep.
So they're playing zone. They're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5. Yep. And in the boundary, we have a cornerback type guy. So when it is man, right, you run a vertical route. When it's zone, you run a horizontal route. Yeah. So they're reading the defense independently of each other. Guy goes in motion, nobody moves. And let's look at what happens.
He hits Kelsey right there.
He's playing hurt. Go ahead, Scott.
The thing Philadelphia is going to have a lot of trouble with in this game is that the Chiefs receivers and Kelsey have been coached up to know exactly where to go and sit in the zone.
Right.
In open spaces. These guys know. Andy Reid off-of-by is phenomenal. So he's had a week to study Philadelphia. He studied him backward and forward. Spagnuolo too. The one thing, as you saw Kelsey just did, he knew to run 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage, turn out. He's open, catches the ball, turns up, has about 10 yards of running space. So they're coached very well, and that's what we're talking about with the coaching advantage, is that Andy Reid is an offensive mind, and even with MVS and Juju, they will go to spots that are not covered in the zone, catch the ball, and be able to turn upfield and get 5 to 10 yards. So, to me, that's a huge coaching mismatch in this game.
Big time. And we'll look at this play. Bad call number 1, right? So they're a man. Now they're a man. Boom. That's your vertical route. He actually catches the ball. Yep. And that's where, I'm thinking the NFL wants games to go under because they did not give him the catch of that. Right, but again, very interesting, right? Both guys pre-snap, they read it. This is man. 19 reads it correctly, runs a vertical route, boom, touchdown. That's classic air raid, but they didn't give him. All right, final thoughts, Scott. Get you out on time.
So as you kind of can allude to, I'm very high on the Chiefs in this game. I think the coaching mismatch is gonna, and we'll officially do it next Wednesday. But I have a big time lean with the coaching advantage in this game. I think Andy Reid is going to do whatever he wants, and I think Mahomes is going to be able to read the Eagles' defense on the field and be able to throw the ball in good spots. And the last thing people should know, this 2 weeks from Mahomes being off his ankle and off his feet will be immensely in his benefit for this game. So.
No, and the thing about reading defenses, that now that I look at Hurts more, it's not an intellectual thing where he can't read it intellectually. It's more of emotional controlling his anxiety, relaxing. We saw Joe Burrow actually be more relaxed than any of these guys.
Yeah.
Mahomes is more relaxed than Hurts. Burrow was more relaxed than Mahomes. But as the game went on, Mahomes had it down. He was very, very relaxed. Final word, Scott.
A lot of information in this short 35 minutes. Next week will be a ton more information, especially Wednesday, where we give you sides, totals, some props. Hopefully Jim can come on once or twice and give some good props, because last year he was easy with his props.
He's in the Midwest, and his complaint was time. So if we can figure out something next week earlier for him, I think we can
maybe on Wednesday we do a double thing where we're on with Jim an hour earlier, because I'm off on Wednesday. I'm not working. I put it in for Wednesday. They approved it already, so I'm free Wednesday night. So if you want to do a double, with Jim earlier and then like half hour later come on with us or whatever, we can do that.
Okay. I'll look at that, because I think Jim's going to like this. They were going through film and watching exactly what these offenses do.
Yep.
And they did complicated stuff over our head, but it's like the 80-20 world. 80% of it is a lot of basic football that you even see in high school, and you see in college, right? And then we get down to execution, who's going to execute or not, who has more emotional control or not. Because on a high level, this is where it comes out. All right. And you don't have to pay Action Sports $1,000. You can get information from us. And it's just as valuable, except we don't charge anything. We give everything for free. When you give one, you get 10 back. That's Santa Claus. He just gives. He gets a lot back. Made a whole career, right? Even though we don't believe in Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. So Winston Churchill said, you make your living from your labor, but you make your life from what you give. Thank you for listening to the ESBC